guys, welcome back to another episode of Echale Ganas Talks, a podcast where real life meets real talks. I am your host, Erika, and I am so glad that you guys are here with me today. I will always say that, by the way, because I truly am so thankful that you guys are here with me today, listening, tuning in, subscribing, all the love and support that I have gotten from you guys. I just want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I truly do appreciate that. So this video is being recorded on a Saturday night. You guys will see this on Monday. I try and do my recordings depending on how my schedule is with my family. So because it is a Monday and you guys are seeing it today, I just want to tell you guys, I just want to pray and ask God to bring peace into your life and into this week. I pray that God brings peace over any situation that you're struggling with right now, or at work, whatever it is, that God just brings peace to your life. So I had a whole template of what I was going to talk about today. I had already practiced. I was like, this is a topic that I'm going to be talking about. But I don't know why, like yesterday and today, I have been hearing the word perspective. So I always try and do a prayer before, I pray that God gives me the correct word, that God gives me the ability to translate what I'm trying to say, that you guys understand me. And the word just perspective, like that word has just been in my mind, and I'm like, is that something that you want me to talk about, God? Or like, what's the reason behind it? But I started thinking of what perspective is and like how it plays a role in our lives. So then I was like, that's what I'm going to talk about. So I'm kind of just winging this. So what does perspective mean? Perspective is the way that you see or understand something, your point of view. Perspective is your point of view, nobody else's. It's your point of view. In a psychological term, it refers to your mental attitude or outlook, how you interpret life based off events or based off your experiences and your beliefs. So like faith, I think faith plays a big role in your perspective of how you view certain situations or how you view things. Perspective is whether it's something you see through your eyes, your mind, or your emotions, it is, again, your point of view. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is because I feel like it's so important to talk about it. It's something we really do talk about. But this will really give us knowledge or give us an outlook on situations. So you could be going through like a negative situation, and we all do. I know I do. You could be going through one right now. But your perspective on that situation is going to change the way that you feel about that situation. The thing you're going through, that situation is not going to change, right? The only thing that you can change is your perspective and your point of view about it. And that is the key. That is the thing that can bring you peace. Peace in the time that you're going through something. It's almost like you're going to look for something positive in a negative situation. If you want to. Again, that's where it's your point of view. I have learned to do this because, guys, it has been so hard. It is still so hard for me to find positive in negative situations. Like, it's taken me a lot, and I still struggle with it. I struggle with it all the time. I struggle with it at home. I struggle with it at work. Sometimes whatever is that's happening in that moment, I get so easily overstimulated, or I get so frustrated and I shut down sometimes, or I just put up this face where I don't want to talk. Like, I just kind of do the silent treatment. Or even sometimes I just have to walk away. And then I that's where I do my thinking, and I think to myself, like, is this even a reason to be upset right now? Like, I always ask myself that question. Is this a reason to be upset? Or is it like big enough for me to be acting the way that I'm acting? And I start to analyze the situation. I start to analyze, like, well, she said this, or he said this, or I said this. And then that's where I put everything into perspective. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. Like, I'm upset because I asked somebody to take out the trash 3 times and it didn't get taken out. But I can get up right now and I can go take out the trash. And that issue is fixed, right? My perspective can be, well, that's not fair because I always take out the trash. Why do I always have to take out the trash? Why can't they take out the trash? Or my perspective could be like, you know what? If you don't go take the trash out, it's going to keep getting full and full. It's going to take you 2 seconds to walk over there, get the trash and throw it out. And everybody's happy, right? That is a perspective of that situation. And it has taken me a long time. And like I said, I still struggle with this, but it is something that I have really tried to put into practice. And the reason, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The reason that this first came into my mind was because earlier today, so like I was telling you guys, I try and work I work my recordings around my family schedule, right? They are number one always. So Manny, my husband, he does music. For all of you that know me, you guys already know this. But if you don't, my husband does music. He plays in a grupo norteño. And Friday nights they practice, and then usually, at least for the next few, I think the last few, every Saturday and the next few Saturdays, he's been having a gig every single weekend. So to be completely honest with you guys, when he started playing music, I was like, I was used to him playing music, but he kind of had stopped. Like, it wasn't every single weekend anymore. So I was so comfortable with having him home, and we were doing things every single weekend and whatnot, whatever. And so when he first told me, like, I'm joining this new grupo, I was like, I thought about myself, to be honest. Like, I was like, man, like, he's not going to be here. He's always going to be doing his music thing. Like, he's going to be practicing Fridays, Saturdays, he's going to be playing. Like, and then Sundays, he's just going to be super tired and we're not going to do anything. Like, this is the stuff that I thought. That was kind of the baseline of it, but there was a lot of other things that were happening in my life at the time that kind of were contributing to the way that I was thinking. So then I was like, man, like, this is going to suck. Like, this is pretty much going to be our weekends. But okay, like, he loves music. I would never be one to say, like, don't play music. But it was just, that was how I was looking at it. That was my perspective of the situation, is like, he's never going to be home. And when he's home, he's going to be tired. So I already had such a negative look on this, you know. I was trying to get closer to God too. So that was another thing. Like, well, Sundays we're not going to be going to church together. I'm going to be going to church by myself because he's going to be so tired from his gigs. So everything about it became negative for me, like the whole situation. And I shared with a lot of people, like people that we were hanging out with, people that are close with me. Like, I shared my thoughts on it, and you can't lie. Like, anyone that asked me or didn't even ask me, I just told them my perspective on the situation. It was negative. Like, okay, whatever. But then recently that perspective changed 100%. Like, I don't see it as a negative thing anymore. And you know why? Because besides anything else, is I am not the person made to control him, right? I am not one to control him. That was number one. And number two, him playing music is only negative if I make it a negative situation. So a perfect example was, I'm going to kind of just play it out for you guys and tell you how this weekend precisely just went. Friday night, he had practice. When he practices, he gets home like en la madrugada. He's a soccer coach to my daughter's soccer team. He's the coach to the soccer team. She had a 9 o'clock game this morning. He got home, I don't know, I'm going to say 1, 2 in the morning. They start late. They start practice really late. So he also, where he coaches is a different city than where we live. So we have to get up earlier than probably most of the team, because we have to make sure we're there even before to warm up, all the coaching stuff, all the coaches stuff. And I saw him this weekend, guys. Like, my whole perspective changed. He got home so late. He had to be at the, let's say, at the field by 8:30 at least to pick up his stuff and be there before the kids start the warm up and all that. And he has the most positive attitude. Like he wakes up, he gets his guitar, he sits on the couch while I'm making my coffee. From being desvelado, because he went to practice and got home like 1, 2 in the morning, and he's up at like 7. And maybe that's not crazy, but to me that's pretty crazy because I know how tired he is. He gets up, he does his thing, he sits on the couch and he's practicing his guitar while I'm making my coffee. And I was thinking to myself, and I didn't even tell him, but I was thinking to myself, like, my gosh, like if I was him, I would be complaining. Like I would be like, I'm so tired. Like I gotta go coach, blah, blah, blah. No negative. He didn't say anything negative. Like we go to the game, we do our thing. Like, you know, the girls played the game. He's an awesome coach. Like he's so involved with my kids and just, he's such a wonderful dad. Like oh my gosh, he really is. But anyways, he's coaching the girls, blah, 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 whatever. We come home and I'm making breakfast. He eats breakfast and he's like, he sits on the couch. Now at this time, I'm like, I got to get the house clean. The kids are all over the place. Like I'm starting to get so frustrated because so much of the housework needs to be done. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something and then I go to the next room and like, it's back to being dirty because of my kids. They're everywhere, you know, they're kids. So he's like, I'm going to go take a nap. Like he had a gig that same day, Saturday night, he had a gig. And so, he's going to be up. It's going to be a desvelada, lo mismo. So I was like, okay, whatever. He went to take a nap. And then as he's taking a nap, I'm cleaning, I'm listening to worship music. And I'm just like, obviously in the beginning, I was like, this is so unfair. Like, this is so frustrating. Like I have to deal with the kids. I have to do all the housework and everything. And like, he can just be like, I'm gonna go take a nap and leave. But then God spoke to me, or like, and my perspective changed. This is the thing that came to my mind. When did you hear him complaining when he was playing soccer or coaching the soccer team? When did you hear him complaining, getting up in the morning for things that really matter to you? He's tired. He should go take a nap. Do you want him to drive to this gig at night tired? And then I was like, wow, like my whole perspective on the situation changed. Like truly understand that he does music because he loves us, but he really does do this for us. My daughter's senior package that oh my God, they're freaking crazy expensive. That paid for that. Like us going to eat, all this extracurricular stuff that we can do. Like that money that he goes and makes in that time and those desveladas, they're for us. Like he's playing music because he loves music, but truly he's out there to give us what we want. And it clicked. It clicked. My perspective on the situation was completely different. And guess what, guys? That brought so much peace to me. Another thing too, and I hope that you guys don't think that I'm crazy, but if you do, like, it's not easy to be married to a musician. Like, it's not easy to be married, and it's not easy to have my husband be away from home, like on the weekends. It's not easy, but it's the way I look at the situation. So I can continue to look at it as a negative thing, or I can truly see that at the end of the day, everything he is doing it for us. Before, it might have been for his own good, or for his own, it makes me emotional because for his own pleasure. But now he does it for us. And it was something that I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. And so now I'm like, call me when you're on your way home. Like, have fun, enjoy yourself. But it changes everything. And I'm like, no, guys, let your dad sleep. Like, he's tired. Versus back then, I would be like, I'm not going to tell my kids to be quiet. Like, this is what he wants. This is what he chose. That's not right. So your perspective can be everything. And that brought peace to me. Another thing too is like so crazy, guys, how sometimes we complain about the very things that we've prayed about. Like we've asked God to bless us with these things and he gives them to us, and then we complain about them. How is that us not being, or okay, I'll speak for myself. How is that me not being selfish and thinking about myself? God, give me the better job. I want better job. I want this. Like, I want that. God gives you another job. And now you're like, oh my gosh, it's so stressful. The things I have to deal with and da-da-da-da. You pray and you ask God. And they were like, Lord, I pray for a baby. I want a family. Lord, this. And that's what you complain about all the time. Your kids, your husband, this and that. That was me. That was me until I almost lost it all and my perspective changed. And let me just tell you guys something. Over everything, it's been prayer, and it's been trusting God in every situation. Truly trusting him for me to know that it's not on me anymore to make the changes. That all I got to do is tell him, let my request be known to him, and let him take care of it. And not my way, but his way. Because he says, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. So my plans may not be his plans, but he knows what's best for me. And his word says that he can do much more than we can even imagine. We just have to make our requests known to him. So I pray and I ask God to continue to work in me and to change my perspective on life, and to change my perspective to always see the good in every situation that I'm going through, whether it's something I have control over, something I don't. These last few weeks have been so emotional at work, you guys. I went through so much in 1 week. Like within, I think, a 4-day period, back to back. I had one of our coworkers passed away at work. They found her in her desk. Another day, we had a student who I can't say much details because, confidential stuff, but I'm a school nurse at a high school. We went through a really hard situation with her. And the student had to be removed from campus, and just to be there and literally be there. And when I mean be there is be a part of everything that was happening. It really takes an emotional toll on you. But then I just think about like, well, God, you have me here for a reason. You really do. This girl is my daughter's age. Like I looked at her like that, and it broke my heart. So I'm like, if I'm here, if I'm going through these things, like if I'm going through things, I always try and look at the positive. And it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really hard, actually. But I ask God and I pray and I tell him, Lord, allow me to always see the good in every situation and the good in people, in everybody, and try to always understand people. I always understand why people have certain point of views. But I just, like I said, this was on my mind. I don't know why it was. Spiritually and mentally, your perspective is the lens through which you see life. That is how you interpret what happens to you. Whether you see something as a lesson, a blessing, or a burden. And I'm going to say that again. Spiritually and mentally, perspective is the lens through which you see life. It is how you interpret what happens to you. Whether you see something as a lesson, a blessing, or a burden. It's on you. Perspective is everything. It's how you choose to look at that situation. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it can bring peace to you. It's your perspective. Like, let's just say you lose your job. Like, they just tell you they're letting you go. And you're like, how? Like, how is this happening, you know? It could be seen as failure, a negative situation. Or if you look at it in a different perspective, it could be an opportunity for growth. Like a new beginning. This door just closed, a new door is going to open, a new opportunity. And then you'll look down the line and think like, that had to happen in order to be where I'm at today. But it's your perspective on everything, you know? And it's not easy. I know it's not. Sometimes in difficult times, like instead of asking ourselves, like, why is this happening to me? We can ask, like, what is this trying to teach me? And it's not going to be in every time and it's not going to happen. But I feel like your perspective on situations is very important. You know, it's like really thinking that everything that happens may serve as a purpose. That's, again, the way you want to look at it. And that life is happening for you, not to you. For me, that can be hard sometimes. But I have noticed that once you change your perspective on certain situations, they're no longer negative anymore. There's just something that happened, or something that you have to get through, or it's just something that you are going through. And then knowing that God's by my side in everything I do and anything I do, that just brings the ultimate peace. But I always try and be positive. And I always try and put myself in other people's shoes and understand them too. Like, I really do that. I really try and always try and understand people. Because I do care. I do care to try and understand them. And sometimes it makes understanding their perspective easier. So thank you guys for joining me again on this episode. I hope you guys liked what I kind of improvised with last minute. Like I told you guys, I don't know why, but this is something that just, I was all day like, perspective, like, wow. And I think that what I shared with you guys, like today with what happened with Emmanuel and his gig and the soccer and all that, really like confirmed that I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about that tonight. Like to give you guys a little something that happened to me and hope that you guys can take something from that. So, gracias por estar conmigo hoy. Gracias por escucharme. And I am going to try and do an episode in Spanish. I know my aunts and everybody's in Mexico. They're like, estás haciendo esto y ni siquiera te podemos entender. Necesitas hacer uno en español. So, voy a tratar de hacer un episodio en español para que ustedes también puedan entender o a ver qué hago. But thank you guys for joining me again. Please share the video, subscribe, like it. If you feel that, you know, it applies to you, or you think of somebody that you might want to share that with, please do. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. And I'll see you guys next time. Si yo puedo, tú también puedes. Échale ganas y síguele, okay?